Hello. We are live.
Hi.
Alright, so let's launch some Audacity. People know we're live. If you don't, we're live. Rouge. Okay. Sure. Hey, this looks cool.
No.
Alright, ready?
Ready anytime.
Okay. Alright, let's start this thing. Oh god, maybe we shouldn't watch this.
Why?
It's a Weinstein!
Hey, it's the Media Boat Podcast.
You found us, people.
You found us. It is Wednesday, 8 o'clock p.m. Pacific time, which means it's time for the Media Boat Podcast, your source for news about movies, television, video games, and music, not necessarily in that order.
I think you did that on purpose.
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Today is Wednesday, April the 4th. April 4th, 2018. This is episode number 117. My name is Matt. His name is Mike.
Hi, I'm Mike. He's Matt. It's baseball season, everyone. Angels are back. It is baseball season everywhere. Hockey is any, but we'll get to that later.
We will. We sure will. But we start the show like we always start the show with movies and the weekend box office numbers.
Oh, this one was easy to call because there's only one big movie coming out, and when Steven Spielberg makes a movie, okay, when he makes a movie of this caliber, big blockbuster type, you kind of want to get out of the way.
To be fair, it's been a while since that has been.
It's been a while.
No, it's been a while since that's been the case.
It's been a while.
Yes. We've had kind of a dearth of Spielberg blockbusters.
Dude, Darth Spielberg's a good name.
Darth Spielberg, kind of like that. For example, the BFG failed to perform. So this is his kind of return. What we're talking about, of course, to stop getting ahead of ourselves, is Ready Player One.
Yes, I was.
Which was your new release this week, which
yes, we were.
Shot up to number one with $41 million as its debut.
Well, that's the weekend because it premiered on Thursday.
Yeah, we're just talking about weekend numbers here.
Yes.
But yeah, it did get a little bit of an early start, bringing its grand total right now currently to $53 million domestic.
That's not too bad. I mean, it's number one, so it's going to run all those number one promos. It's also not that bad, considering what it is. But it is bad when you look at the overall numbers, considering this thing probably cost around $152 million to make.
It's going to be a minute until it makes up its money.
It's going to need that global box office. Let's just put it that way.
It needs China real bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was your number one movie. You'll be talking about that in a minute. But
in a hot second.
Let's talk about the rest of our top five before we move on. Number two is your other debut this week, Tyler Perry's Acrimony.
Yes.
Debuted to $17 million.
Yes, the Taraji P. Henson, I'm Gonna Kill a Bitch. I think that's what it's about.
I have no idea what it's about.
I don't know. It's Tyler Perry.
It might be Acrimony. Number three, drop it at number three.
I only know that because the posters say Hell Hath No Fury. And Taraji P. Henson sitting in a chair. Like not a chair, a throne. It's like a grand throne. So
you're putting one and one together.
Yes, one and one make a P.
Yeah.
Taraji.
A P. Taraji P. Henson.
Yes.
Sorry, yes.
Well, we'll talk about her later, too.
As I was saying, Black Panther is your number three with another $11 million to its grand total of $650 million.
Yeah, it passed.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it passed Frozen worldwide.
Damn. When you're beating Frozen.
And then it also passed Jurassic World domestically.
Which was a record at the time, wasn't it?
Yep.
So damn. Also, in your top five, number four is I Can Only Imagine. Still, somehow in your top five.
It was Easter weekend. It's going to drop like a rock after this.
We'll see. With another $10 million.
Yeah.
And then, last but not least, at number five, Pacific Rim Uprising, hanging in there with another $9 million.
Yeah, but that's a sharp drop from it being number one to number five. Ugh. unfortunate.
What you gonna do, especially up against another action movie?
Yeah,
it was inevitable. They knew that when they scheduled it.
Oh yeah,
this was gonna be the week it dropped. All right, that's your top 5 this weekend. Here's your coming soon movies to look forward to. You have Blockers, the Kay Cannon of Pitch Perfect fame, written and directed. A movie about
John Cena not letting his daughter have sex.
Yeah, high school cock blockers. That was the original name of the film, by the way, cock blockers.
Yes, but they changed it to,
they had to change
Rooster. All the promos have Rooster blockers, yeah. But when you put it in text form, it's just blockers.
Also, Chappaquiddick. Can you tell me what Chappaquiddick is?
Yes, that is the city that is in fancy New England town.
Okay. What about the movie Chappaquiddick?
Oh, Chappaquiddick is actually based on that town.
Okay.
Where I want to. It was a Ted Kennedy. Yes, it's about Ted Kennedy and how he killed some lady, and then everyone's covering it up.
Okay, that's quite a thing.
Or did he kill her?
That's the question. I think the film may help answer that question.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's Ted Kennedy too. Or Ted Kennedy also. I'm not Ted Kennedy too.
Ted Kennedy too.
Ted Kennedy too is his son.
No. Also this weekend, The Miracle Season, which is that girls volleyball movie that's not really about girls volleyball.
Yes.
It is, but it's about death.
Yes.
You explain this to me.
I explained this to you, but yeah.
Off the pod.
Yes. It's about a girls' high school volleyball team that loses their star player due to, let's just say, drunk driving, because I regularly remember looking it up. So, star volleyball player dies, and so team of misfits must rally together around new captain to win state championship for their captain who passed, who's dead, who helped them win it last year. And the only way they can feel good about themselves is if they win the whole thing.
Cool.
That's a miracle season.
That's a miracle season.
I think it stars Helen Hunt.
I think you're right. And then lastly, this weekend, A Quiet Place.
Shh. We don't talk about this.
Well, no, because you die, apparently, if you do. So yeah, my coworkers have been talking this thing up. They're super jazzed to see this this weekend.
It's a silent film starring Hollywood's lovely couple, John Krasinski and Emily Blunt. And apparently, yes, they are together.
Apparently, it's also written by John Krasinski.
I'll one-up you on that. It's also directed by him.
It's his brainchild. He's Jordan Peeling this one.
Yeah.
So yeah, good for him, I guess. I didn't know he was into this. It's
gotten good buzz. I think 100% on Rotten Tomatoes right now. Yeah. Expect this one to be your #1 film because it got a lot of hype following that Super Bowl ad. So yeah, people are looking forward to this.
All right, cool. So those are your new releases. Let's talk about then the movie you saw. You saw Ready Player One.
Let's talk about the other one first.
What other movie did you see?
I saw Isle of Dogs.
Dogs. That's the new Wes Anderson stop motion in the vein of Fantastic Mr. Fox, which is the last time he did this.
Yes.
So how is Isle of Dogs? Isla Fisher of Dogs. Is Isla Fisher in it?
Trash Island of Dogs is...
You're not going to answer me? Isla Fisher?
No, she's not.
Oh. Okay.
No. Sorry.
Now I want to see.
Yes.
So yeah, anyway, Isle of Dogs.
Yes, Trash Island of Dogs.
Trash Island.
Trash Island of Dogs is a Japanese appropriation of stop motion animation whilst having a subtle cats versus dogs undertone lines and yet still being a Wes Anderson film.
So the way it looked like in the trailers is the most Wes Anderson thing that has ever Wes Andersoned.
Yeah.
Is that kind of what you're getting here?
That's kind of what I'm getting at here.
Yeah.
It's very Wes Anderson. All his typical tropes are in this. There's flashbacks. There's love interest. There's people randomly running away. People staring at paintings. Quick pans. Everything is centered for some reason. Yeah. Very Wes Anderson. People talk softly. Or dogs talk softly.
Uh-huh.
Bryan Cranston's great in it as a dog.
Okay.
Or maybe I just like his voice. But yeah, it's a well done film. If you like Wes Anderson, you're gonna enjoy it. If you don't, you're gonna be super confused by it because it's very like fast paced in its style. So yeah, just by saying it's a Wes Anderson film, you're gonna know if you're gonna like it or not.
Yeah. I mean, just judging by the trailers, you should be able to see that trailer and be like, I am on board with this movie. Or, oh god, I don't want to touch that thing.
Basically. I mean, I feel like there was supposed to be a bigger underlining cats versus dogs tone that they kind of hint at consistently throughout the film, but then go completely away from it. Or not completely away from it, just never fully attached to that idea.
Is this a family film?
Yes, because it's about a boy and his dog.
No, I mean, is it a family film? Not, like, plot-wise. I mean, like, content-wise, is this, like, take your family to see it? Or is this not a kid's thing?
It's a kid's thing in terms of the genre and the type of film it's making, yet I don't think your kid would fully understand what's going on.
Oh, okay. So it's not, like, necessarily content a kid can't see. You're just thinking that a kid won't be able to sit through it.
Sure, let's go put it that way. Yeah. What's up, dudes? Angels won 3-2. And the Dodgers are 3-0. Dodgers lost 3-0.
Oh, well.
We'll use that later. But yeah, it's definitely a film that wouldn't hurt a child to see. It's just that without having a Wes Anderson film background, or at least knowledge of his style,
you might be confused.
You may be confused and you may like lose yourself halfway through. But it's definitely not going to harm anyone.
Alright, so on the patented media boat scale, what will you give Isle of Dogs?
For general audience, stream it.
General audience.
General audience, you gotta stream it. It's one of these films like, you're going to go in liking it, or it's just going to be like, why did I see this film again?
Yeah. So if this was already on your agenda, probably go see it. If this was something not on your radar.
Yeah, if you plan on seeing this thing, you're not going to be disappointed. Okay. There's nothing really bad to say about it. It's just that Wes Anderson doesn't make a film for the mass audiences.
Fair enough. Yeah, again, does his own thing. However, what is very mass audience is the other thing you saw.
Yes, mass audience because it is super populated with plenty of references and culture appropriation and pop culture and just like very 80s.
All right, tell me, did you like it? Did you like Ready Player One?
I hated the book.
But that's not what I asked.
I know, but I have to preface all this. But I hated the book so much.
Yeah, I hear the book sucks.
The book sucks on several fronts because one, the main character has an explicit knowledge of 80s movies where he's able to recreate it. Two, he's super good at video games. And by that, I mean he completed a perfect game of Pac-Man. Not only that, but he has a severe knowledge of everything this guy ever did, said, and done. Like, off the top of his memory, which is like, no. And also, just to put this in context, the film takes place, or that universe, takes place in 2040s? The 2040s, talking about culture that happened in the 80s. So you're talking about a 60-year gap. To put that in perspective, that's as if someone today was trying to find Easter eggs based off someone in the 70s? In the 70s. Like, being totally immersed in the 70s culture and then, like, finding Easter eggs appropriated to that era. It just doesn't make sense.
So basically being like, where's the Fonz?
Basically, it's ultimate fan fiction written for fans. Like, even the main, love interest girl is, like, written as, like, a fanfic love interest type of way.
Yeah, I've heard it's kind of, it's very much an omnipotent main character who is too good at everything, who doesn't really change.
Yeah.
And the way it's written is very, like, not just, oh, there's a DeLorean. It is, no, here is the DeLorean from the 1985 film Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Yeah.
It's very like, get it? We're making a reference right now. Aren't I so cool that I know all these references?
Yeah.
However, to kind of segue into what you're going to talk about, which is the movie, thankfully, from what I heard, the movie does not do this.
Yes. Thankfully, Steven Spielberg knows how to not only make a good story.
Because he knows better. He knows not to.
He
ham fist these things into the audience. He knows that the audience is smarter than that.
Oh, yeah. And he definitely plays into that. It's definitely a whole lot better than the book.
Okay.
I really enjoyed this film.
All right.
However, I do feel like it was directed by two different people.
It might have been.
Because, like, halfway through it, with all the CGI face going on, I was like, this feels more like Robert Zemeckis going on here.
I mean, they are buddies.
I know they are buddies.
So...
But, yeah.
It does seem like in an alternate universe, Zemeckis would have directed this.
Yes, I do feel like that. But then again, I feel like if he did do that, it would be entirely animated. Maybe. Whereas this is live action and then that weird hybrid animation.
Yeah.
So, weird hybrid animation may throw you off because they are, like, avatars from, like, but it's mocap.
Not Avatar.
Yeah, not Avatar.
Not James Cameron Avatar. Avatars, like in the web presence way.
Mm-hmm. The guy likes Back to the Future, so basically he's me. Yeah? Basically. I mean, not too far off.
Not too far off, but I feel like you could write a better story than Ready Player One, though.
Yeah, but I probably wouldn't be able to make a better movie than what Steven Spielberg did.
Well, yeah, but anyway,
the film is great. It's chock full of references and 80s culture.
Yeah.
If you're going in expecting what the book is like, prepare to be disappointed. But then again, it does everything the book sets up to be a whole lot better.
So, okay.
Because no one wants to sit through a D&D campaign. No one wants to sit through a replay of War Games, which is very obscure.
Yeah.
Instead,
no one remembers War Games.
Yeah. Well, we're going to see it tomorrow, so I won't spoil.
Yeah, I was going to actually say, so I'm going to see this thing tomorrow. I have zero interest in what this thing is trying to do. So I guess my question for you, and I don't know how much I should ask, my question is, how much of it is about look at all these references, and how much of it is a story that actually you care about, characters you care about? Like, am I going to be invested enough where I won't be bugged by, okay, I get it, that's Tracer from Overwatch. Okay, I get it, that's the Iron Giant. Like, is that all this is, or is there something I can hang on to?
Funny enough, you could probably take all the references out of this, and it would still be a decent movie.
Okay, good. Because that's my main worry.
Yes, because that's one thing the book did, is that it relied heavily on, like, nostalgia, whereas this doesn't.
And I understand from stuff I've read and stuff you've said and stuff people I know have said that it does a better job of not doing that. But that being said, I've also read some reviews that are very like, this is still kind of a device to deliver you nostalgia.
Yeah.
And
it does that. Yeah. But it doesn't do it where it's like front and center in your face as much. I mean, there are spots where it's like, here, we're just going to totally do this thing. And like, hey, you guys remember this? You all like this, right? There are those parts, but those parts don't necessarily involve the plot and the bulk of the film.
Yeah.
They're mainly like throwaway cameos or like side stuff.
I guess my worry is I don't want it to get too Family Guy, where it's like, hey, the joke is it's this thing that you remember.
No.
Okay.
It doesn't get too far into that.
All right.
It does in terms of like the A plot, it does poke at it and reference it, but it doesn't delve too far onto that path. And for the most part, all the nostalgia stuff is pretty much kept to the side while keeping the main plot intact.
Okay.
I think you might enjoy it, actually.
I mean, we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out tomorrow.
So yeah, we're going to see it tomorrow. He'll see it for the second time, so we'll have some things. We'll have some more things to say next week. But yeah, I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah. It definitely shows why Spielberg can direct the blockbusters, because it just all looks super easy and well done. I say super easy, but like a lot of work goes into all this stuff. And it's just very, I don't know how to put it. It's just all the action sequences are very easy to follow.
Okay, good.
And you never feel like anything is left out or like, oh wait, how'd this happen?
It's no Transformers style, oh my god, what the hell just happened?
Yeah. It may come to that, like in little places where they have to like solve the clues and solve the riddles. But they go over it so fast that you're like, oh, well I get it. They thought it was this, but then no, it turned out to be this. Or like, oh, it's actually this part to this. So they do a good job of that, and they do a good job explaining everything that happens.
Okay.
And I think that was just in part of Spielberg getting his hands on this thing and stripping everything from the books to its bare bones and understanding what it is they're trying to accomplish.
Okay, cool. So on the patented media boat scale,
go see it.
This?
Oh, go see it.
See it.
Yeah, you're not gonna be disappointed. You're gonna enjoy spending your money to see this. It's a fun film to watch. It's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I mean, somewhere down the line, I feel like this is gonna be like people's favorite films.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we'll figure that out later in the year.
Yeah, we'll figure that out later.
Alright, so that's Ready Player One. Moving on. Ready Player One, our first story in movie news, is about the film. Specifically about kind of some behind-the-scenes stuff about how they got all the clearance to use all those characters and references that they got.
Yeah, so when it comes to making a film like this, there are a lot of IPs to consider.
So yeah.
IPs, intellectual property.
When you reference something, you usually have to clear it, especially if it's a real company. So real companies own these characters that are being referenced. Warner had to go to these companies and be like, hey, is it alright if we use so-and-so in our movie? So, it was probably a nightmare, as you might have guessed. And sure enough, it was. Yeah. Because Ready Player One is so made up of these cameos that there was a lot to clear. But thankfully, you had the power of literally Steven Spielberg, arguably the most powerful man in Hollywood, director-wise, to kind of, pull some strings as he can. He can do. Yeah. So he was working with Christy Makoso Krieger, who is, I guess, on the team for this purpose. Yeah,
one of his longtime producers.
Yeah. Started the process long before they started filming to make sure that they were able to clear everything on their wish list. So it said apparently they got like 80% of what they wanted.
Yeah, there's some stuff on there that they wanted to include, mainly from Blade Runner.
Yeah, they couldn't get Blade Runner. That's owned by Alcon Entertainment.
Yeah, even though Warner Brothers distributed Blade Runner.
They don't own the IP.
Yeah. The fun reason that they didn't want it in the film is because they have Blade Runner 2029 coming out. Uh-huh. And even though... Well, this was originally... 2049.
You said 2029.
2049. Yeah. Well, because originally Player One was supposed to come out in December.
Right.
But they got pushed back to March.
They would have been contemporary movies. They didn't want confusion.
Right. That's basically how it was. Yeah.
That's fair. And then also notable, you have down here that they couldn't get Ultraman, the Japanese superhero character.
Yeah, Ultraman in the book plays a big part in the end game.
Okay.
But yeah, so they had to switch it out with
Iron Giant,
which they use prominently in all their ads.
Because that's a Warner Brothers property.
That's
that they
also
own.
Why, yeah.
But also because it's nostalgic to a generation after the book of Ready Player One. There's a lot of people my age that are very sentimental when it comes to the Iron Giant. Yep. Myself included. I love that movie. It's a great movie. So that's a good grab, I think.
Yeah, Brad Bird.
So yeah, the other thing here is that about superheroes specifically. As you know, Warner Brothers does own DC, so they were able to freely use the DC characters.
Yes,
Batman or Superman.
At one point, they do specifically reference Batman.
But surprisingly, the surprising part here, they were able to get Marvel characters, even though they're owned by Disney.
Yeah, in the big battle scene at the very end, you can see several Marvel characters, Spider-Man, Captain America, cool. Iron Man, in the film. It's made for maybe 2 or 3 frames.
Yeah.
Quick glance, but the fact that they're in there means they still had to get cleared.
Yeah, it's cool that they got those. It's cool that Disney's playing ball.
Yeah, or Marvel's playing ball rather.
Well, yeah.
Well, Marvel's owned by Disney, but yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, crazy, but they made it happen, and it sounds like the movie.
I think the movie's all the better for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to our next story.
I thought that story would be bigger, but when Steven Spielberg comes calling, you rarely say no.
He's the guy. He can pull some strings for sure.
So let's move on.
So let's move on to a new format that you might someday see Ready Player One on. Samsung is developing the world's first 3D cinema LED screen.
Not developing, developed.
Has made. And that debuted in Switzerland. unlike standard 3D cinema, as you know it today, with your real 3D glasses and all, the LED screen provides consistent picture quality across an entire theater, ensuring a uniform, immersive viewing experience. I'm sounding like an advertisement.
You are sounding like an ad.
For every seat.
Yes, I read the copy.
Yeah, so this is projection-based. This is better than your projection-based technology.
Oh, come on, read what I wrote.
I'm trying to summarize.
I know.
And a more digital experience. These LED screens have been successfully installed so far in Seoul, Busan, and Shanghai. But so far only for 2D experiences and will be transferred, I'm guessing, into 3D.
Yes.
So, translate a little for me. Is this glassesless?
No, you still need glasses.
Okay.
However, because they're LED based, the picture is brighter and it's not being bounced off a screen.
Got it. This is a screen. This is an LED screen as opposed to projection.
Correct. They're trying to get rid. This is Samsung's way of getting rid of standard projection, which we've already moved away from film projection to digital projection. But there's a way of just getting rid of the projection booth altogether.
This sounds prohibitively expensive.
Oh, it is.
That's the whole reason why they haven't done screens like this in the past, right? Is because it's way cheaper just to do projection.
Oh, an LED wall is only used in like concert settings.
It's insane.
But as technology grows and as things get progressively cheaper, things get upgraded, and this is one of them.
I guess that's true. So we'll see if this goes wider than right now. It's limited kind of Asian country.
Well, Samsung, South Korea.
Yeah, coverage here. Maybe someday we'll see one here.
Eventually, I mean, because it is a digital thing, I could definitely see AMC
maybe
adapting this thing, or even like IMAX screens. Even though IMAX is still like digital film, like 70mm film. Oh, which by the way, Ready Player One will be getting a 70mm IMAX release.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah, I could see it coming to the US, but I could also see it like taking
a while,
several years.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bit.
Yeah.
A director who may take advantage someday of a screen technology like this is recent Oscar winner Guillermo Del Toro.
Oh, what is GDT?
What's he up to? Well, Fox Searchlight has made a deal with him for his next several films. They get first look on any live-action films that Del Toro writes, produces, or directs under a new film label. So Fox Searchlight will finance, market, and distribute all his films. The first picture under this deal is already on its way, titled Antlers. So far, it has Scott Cooper directing a story about an elementary school teacher who takes in a troubled student that harbors a mysterious family secret with deadly consequences.
Sounds like a horror film.
Sounds like all up their alleys there, so cool.
Yeah. Del Toro is producing it. Mm-hmm. I don't think he wrote it because it's based off a short story by someone else.
Okay. But yeah, production credit there.
But yeah, I mean, the fact that he's, for years has struggled to get financing for any of his films.
Now he doesn't have to worry about it.
Now he's set for, what I read didn't say how many films, but
yeah.
I guess while he's still in partnership with them.
But hey,
so until he hits a flop.
This is the core difference to me that the Oscars has over a lot of other award shows.
Yeah.
Because it still means something if you win Best Picture.
Right.
This is the example of what it means.
Right. Last week we were talking about Cannes Film Festival and how they weren't letting Netflix the Cannes Film Festival, how they weren't letting Netflix or streaming services compete because they try and mean something.
Yeah.
They really don't mean a whole lot outside of niche film.
At least in comparison to something like this, which you can see the returns.
Yes.
I mean, hell, you saw it with the producer of La La Land. You got to make The Greatest Showman.
Right.
It's like this stuff matters.
Right, and even people went to go see The Shape of Water after it was released in theaters. Yeah. We did that story about how people were seeing it because they had Movie Pass, and that it got that shot.
Right, we got such a high number because arguably from all those Movie Pass people. All right.
Yeah. So make a hit film, get financed for the rest of your life.
Turns out But what won't win an Oscar and get finance for future projects?
Harvey Weinstein.
The next film. Well, that too.
Oh.
But the next film, What Men Want. Does this sound familiar to you?
It sounds like What Women Want.
Well, it's funny that you say that because it is a remake of sorts with a gender swap. So What Men Want is based on What Women Want, the 2000 rom-com starring Mel Gibson. But this time,
Helen Hunt.
This time, it will be a film starring Taraji P. Henson, the aforementioned Taraji P. Henson.
Hey.
Directed by Adam Shankman. Taraji P. Henson will play the lead role, with Tracy Morgan and Aldous Hodge set to join.
Yes, Aldous Hodge and Taraji P. Henson played opposite one another in Hidden Figures.
So Henson plays a sports agent who has been constantly boxed out by her male colleagues. But when she gains the power to hear men's thoughts, she's able to shift the paradigm to her advantage as she races to sign the next NBA superstar. So it's slated to open January 11th, 2019.
Yep, January release, so which means it's underway shortly,
right.
And then edited and shipped.
That is a solid concept.
That's a solid premise too.
Yeah, I like it. That's cool.
Yeah.
Hopefully that'll be good.
I like to see this is Jerry Maguire-esque written all over it.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, so hopefully it's good. I like to see more sports movies in theaters.
Yeah,
just because I'm big, big sports guy.
Yeah,
also, I like to see Aldous Hodge in more things. He's a good actor. I like him and stuff.
Alrighty, that's it for TV news.
Oh yeah, we're done.
So we get to move on to television, which of course starts with sports.
Baseball!
Well, before we get to baseball, we have to wrap up NCAA basketball. The Final Four
March Madness
has happened. March Madness is over. We are done being mad.
Grr. Well, we were done being mad a while ago with our Pixar bracket.
Well, I mean, some people are still mad. Which you can listen
on our website.
But who isn't mad is Villanova, who won again.
Nova Nation.
Destroying
Michigan.
Yeah, and kind of a game that we kind of glazed over because we were just like, this is happening.
Well, like I mentioned last week, Nova was basically running over everyone in this competition, winning by double-digit points.
Yeah.
So going into this thing, they won the Final Four by their game against Kansas by double digits, and they won the final game by double digits. Cinderella team. Not Baylor. Chicago. Loyola Chicago didn't.
Yeah.
Couldn't hold their own.
Couldn't do it.
No. But hey, I mean, they made it to the Final Four, which is great for that school.
Right.
But yeah.
Meanwhile, in the women's tournament, Notre Dame took it.
Yeah, in a last-second shot. Literally, when it hit, they had and everyone was like celebrating. They had to bring people back on because the referees determined that there was 0.1 seconds left on the clock, which you can't do anything with.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a great ending shot. Expect that to be listed for one of the
plays of the year.
Yeah, plays of the year.
There you go. Before we talk about...
Also, real briefly, Girlfriend picked Nova to win it all.
Yeah.
Her and one other person in our pool, I picked Tennessee, which lost by one shot to the Loyola Chicago people.
Well, there you go. Congratulations.
Yes, she ended up winning the whole $19 prize.
Woo! $19.
Yep.
Get yourself a nice steak.
I'll say that'll get you 2 Starbucks coffees.
That too. Well, no, more like 3.
Yeah.
So yeah, the other sport that's about to wrap up is NHL hockey.
Yes, there are roughly 2 to 3 games left. The season ends on Saturday, and for my Kings, they're in a tight race with
Los Angeles
the
Ducks.
Yeah, they're in a tight race with the Ducks right now in the West, or Pacific Division, not the West. So I'm going to be paying close attention to the last couple games here.
Yeah.
I've been paying more attention in the past month or so because we're winding down. But yeah, hockey's coming to an end. We're going to need to play 2 months of playoff hockey coming up here, and hopefully my Kings are going to be in it.
You can only hope.
Oh, yes, there's a lot of hope going on.
And then lastly in sports, we of course have to talk about baseball started.
Yes. So, baseball started last Thursday, as we mentioned, and
how was the opening week?
It was good.
Good.
Yeah, good baseball's being played. Shohei Ohtani premiered for the Angels, and one already got a win.
Sweet.
Because after he gave up a home run in the first inning, he went on to strike out 11 of the next 18 batters he faced.
Not bad.
Or 11 of the next 15 batters.
Not bad at all.
And then in his very first home run at Angel Stadium, he hit a home run. I'm sorry, very first at bat, he hit a home run.
Nice.
Yeah.
Goes to show you.
Yeah, and then he ended up going 3 for 4 that game. For the record, Ducks Wild is tied 1-1. Yes, okay. I'm rooting for the Ducks to lose and for the Wild to win because we play the Wild tomorrow.
There you go. If you want to see us play some Shohtani, some Angels baseball,
yes,
you can see we've been streaming on and off on twitch.tv/mediaboat some MLB The Show 18. We'll probably do one more stream of that before we probably turn in and get a new video game.
Yeah.
But for now, we'll be playing some baseball for a little bit here.
Yeah.
So
we're going to fast forward through an Angels season, try and make some playoffs if we can. And then, try and win the World Series. We recently took Shohtani the distance, all 9 innings.
Yeah.
Got down to 2 with 1 out left and gave up a hit.
Yeah.
That was frustrating.
Yeah, and then kind of the game fell after that.
Yeah.
But
first I hit a batter.
Right.
And then I got a base hit.
Yes.
And then I ended up letting a run score.
It's like, all right, whatever.
Hey, I went 8 shutout innings, striking out 14 batters or something.
Yeah.
It was great. I mean, we'll talk more about the game at the end when we get to video games. But it's good. If you want to see us play Ohtani. Yeah. And very last thing in sports, I know I didn't have this written down because I just remembered, the Masters.
That's golf, in case you're not as cultured.
Yes.
So.
It starts tomorrow. 4 days of nothing but the greatest golfers this year has to offer.
Hitting golf balls.
Yes, hitting little white balls and going the distance.
Hitting white balls all day.
Yep. It's I'll be probably watching some Masters.
Okay.
Tiger Woods is back, and that's seemingly anyone could talk about for some reason.
I thought you were talking about good golfers.
I know, right?
So anything else about sports before we move on to television?
So this past week, people they've been practicing on the course, Augusta National, and in order to keep all the media contained, they put Phil Mickelson and Tiger Woods together.
Okay.
Just to keep the media all in one group.
Yeah.
That's all they would focus on. But a golf game like no other. Coming up this weekend. And then
anything else?
NBA will end next week, but we'll talk about that next week.
All right, let's move on then to television news. Our first story is picking up from a story that we probably talked about briefly last year, which has to do with Sinclair Broadcasting?
Yes. If you didn't hear us talk about it, I'm sure you heard John Oliver talk about it.
John Oliver did a piece about these guys, but if you don't know, Sinclair Broadcasting is the single largest owner of broadcast television networks, and they're threatening to get larger. Following the widespread video of news anchors that were on Sinclair's pre-programmed entertainment. They all said the same thing about not trusting the media. News also came out about some Sinclair employees being subjected to liquidated damages clauses.
That'd be if they choose to leave, breach their contract and leave.
So while there is a 6-month non-compete clause and forced arbitration, other contractual stipulations were 40% annual compensation if they left before the end of their contract. These damage clauses are commonplace in the broadcast industry as it serves to protect companies from replacing anchors who suddenly leave. However, some employees who never appear on camera were still required to sign such contracts. Is this fishy or is this fishy?
This smells like some fish to me. Because, I can understand not letting your anchors leave because they would hold down your show. But if you have people, in the booth or, people on this, that don't ever appear on camera, That's like wanting to keep trade secrets.
Yeah.
Or like stuff that you don't want getting out because they have non-disclosure agreements on top of this non-competing clause, and then on top of this asset liquidation.
Of course, this is all going on at the same time as kind of our media is now finding out about these guys and are now reporting, hey, it's kind of weird how they're so ridiculously like alt-right in like the stuff that they're broadcasting all day.
Well, it's not just that they're alt-right. It's not just that they're alt-right. It's just that they're potentially trying to buy Tribune right now, which would give them 80% market shares.
Right. Which is troubling when you consider how biased and how obviously biased they are.
Right. And this goes into trying to keep a fair playing field, which it can be kind of an issue when you have the SEC, head of the FCC, Ajit Pai.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Mr. Net Neutrality himself.
Yes. Kind of skewing the scales a bit.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on here. Is essentially the message here. There's so much to cover about these guys. Ultimately, we'll see what happens with their possible purchase of Tribune. We'll see if that goes through. It seems like the FCC meddling has been kind of ebbed for the time being, but it could not be in the future. So who knows? But yeah, we'll get back to these guys. We'll keep an eye out on them because, man, it's super weird.
It's funny you mention that because last year when we reported them potentially buying Tribune, that we should probably keep an eye out for these guys, and yet everything kind of like slowly went away until this thing came.
This week.
Yeah. Which is weird.
CNN was even talking about this the other day. So yeah, it's getting to a head. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's coming ahead.
All right. What is also coming to the head is remakes. They're constantly making remakes, and the next remake we're gonna see is a remake of A League of Their Own, but on television this time.
Yes, that film.
Yes, the 1992 baseball film about a women's baseball league based on true events is getting a TV adaptation for Amazon Studios. Will Graham, who I guess was involved in Mozart in the Jungle for Amazon, and Abby Jacobson from Broad City will co-write and executive produce what is being described less as a reboot and more as a modern look at the story of A League of Their Own.
Yeah, it's a reimagining.
The film celebrated its 25th anniversary last year, but this will dive deeper into the issues facing the country while following a ragtag team of women figuring themselves out while fighting to realize their dreams of playing professional baseball.
Just like a real ad man.
Yeah. It's a half-hour comedy taking a contemporary spin on the stories of women surrounding the league. This sounds boss.
Yeah, this sounds great.
Yeah, I'm already looking forward to this.
Like, I'm surprised Amazon is like reaching out to pick this thing up.
Yeah.
But the fact that someone, like, just anyone would want to put that into a film, like, it's right up the alley. It's a
sports.
In a sports term, it's a home run.
A sports. What? Wait for the headlines.
Yeah.
A television sports comedy sounds great.
I mean,
when was the last time we had one of those? Sports Night?
Brockmeyer, but no one's watching. It's on IFC.
It's really about the announcer.
The announcer.
Sports Night was about the sports casters.
Yeah.
And the league is about fantasy. So, like, when was the last time we had, like, a comedy sports show?
Like, specifically comedy?
Yeah. I can't even think of it.
Basketball.
No, television.
Oh, television.
See, that's the thing. There's been movies.
Yeah, there's been movies. I mean, Bad News Bears. I think that was
They may have made a TV show briefly.
I believe there's a brief TV show.
Anyways.
But yeah,
I think it's a cool idea. It's a good idea. Meanwhile, we've got another deal. Kenya Barris, the creator of Blackish and writer of Girls Trip, is actively trying to get out of his deal with ABC Studios. While he still has 3 years left on the contract he signed last year, he's currently being courted by Netflix to join them. Barris recently had to pull an episode of Blackish because ABC wouldn't air it. I believe it was about, was it the kneeling at the anthem?
I believe it was about that. It was something about...
I just read about this.
Yeah, it was about Anthony Anderson's character talking to his son about politics in the world right now.
Like kneeling and the whole thing.
I think it might have been kneeling.
But yeah, so ABC wouldn't let him air it.
Something. Yeah.
He also put forth 3 different shows that ABC passed on. One that had Alec Baldwin executive producing. Huh.
Yeah, he would executive produce and star in it. One was a law drama, and one was another comedy.
Now, and as you know, his spin-off show of Blackish, Grownish, it was bought up for a full buy, ended up premiering on Freeform, as the executives thought it was too young skewing for ABC.
Which is funny, because he initially created for ABC proper, but then they didn't really want to put it on ABC proper, so they're like, okay, we like what you did here, we just don't think it's going to work here, so we're going to give it to Sister Station.
So this is kind of dovetails into another story, which you don't have here, but I think we should talk about it. So Roseanne premiered
ABC.
on ABC
because it's ABC.
as well this week. And so when these two stories hit at the same time, a lot of people were like raising some eyebrows about what's going on at ABC.
Yeah.
So one of the major kind of trending things that caught fire in the pop culture sphere with Roseanne was that Roseanne, the character, well, and also the real person, but the character of the television show, was portrayed as someone who voted for Trump. Mm-hmm. This kind of went wildfire on the internet. People are still kind of trying to see where they sit with this character, like this television legend of a character being kind of put into this modern view this way. So when the story came out about ABC passing on a political issue of Blackish and about the guy being like, I need to get out of here, people kind of got a view of being like, what's going on at ABC these days?
Right.
What's the executive
temperature? Well, because not only that, but Shonda Rhimes left. Mm-hmm. So, to Netflix, even.
Yeah.
So
they're losing their power hitters. Yeah. But that being said, Roseanne debuted to 1 billion viewers and is their newest biggest hit. So what you gonna do?
You're gonna revive more TV shows.
Yeah, that's what you're gonna do.
You're gonna go steer hard into that revival era.
So yeah.
So we're gonna see the Muppets come back because people loved it, that show.
So yeah, we're gonna see what happens. No.
Come on.
We'll see what happens with Kenya Barris. We'll keep an eye on him and see what happens with that business.
Yeah. Unlike Shonda Rhimes, who had 1 year left on her contract, Kenya still has 3.
Right.
He just signed a 4-year deal last year.
So yeah, we'll see if anything goes over to Netflix. But what is happening over at Netflix is our next story. They are hiring, but be quick because there's one position. That position is an editorial analyst. Now you're probably wondering, that's a really vague term. What does that mean?
Also, I don't edit. That doesn't apply to me. But wait, it probably does.
So, Stream Company is now hiring an editorial analyst who will be paid to watch, research, categorize, and rate their movie and TV content. Quote, the ideal candidate has a deep knowledge and education in the film and or television industry, can write efficiently with an attention to detail, and is thoughtful in the delivery of information while working on a diverse team.
This sounds like us.
Basically, Netflix is hiring somebody to watch hours and hours of television. While there is only one position open here in the United States, there are several open if you speak Japanese.
That's the caveat.
So yeah.
Unless you want to watch a bunch of Japanese television and can understand what they're saying, non-subtitled, I might add you.
Good luck.
Netflix has a job opening for you.
Yeah, so check that out, people who are fluent in Japanese.
Yes.
Moving on, let's wrap up television by talking about some television that we watched.
Yeah, so there was an event, I'll just call it an event, on Sunday that was more than Easter and more than April Fool's. A combination of both, you could say.
You're being cute. But no, NBC aired their annual live musical that they've been doing since Carrie Underwood's Sound of Music a few years ago.
Has it been that long?
It's been that long. I don't know how long ago, but that has been that long. So this year's, it was on Easter, as you said, on Sunday. It was Jesus Christ Superstar, the Andrew Lloyd Webber 70s musical about the death of Jesus Christ.
Rock opera.
Yeah, you could call it rock opera. It's
disco opera?
No, I wouldn't go disco. It's very rock though. It's rock funk kind of influence.
Yeah.
Very of its time. It's very 70s. It was what he was doing prior to his 80s hits like Phantom of the Opera. This is how Andrew Lloyd Webber got himself to be a big name. So it was a hit on Broadway. It was then a hit in theaters. But yeah, this live version starred John Legend, the legend comma John, as Jesus himself. A former star of Hamilton as Judas. I don't remember his name.
Leslie, I think.
Leslie
Odom.
Leslie Odom.
Yes.
And Sarah Bareilles did not write you a love song, but she was
Mary Magdalene.
Mary Magdalene. So yeah, it was
and Alice Cooper as Caesar.
Yeah, it was.
I believe it was Caesar.
That was weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, needless to say, this kind of fell into the format of their previous live productions, but a way more bare bones version of that. It was basically one set, just like you'd see in a live at concert kind of version of this. And yeah, very pared down, kind of like just the costumes, the singing, and some set dressing, and that's it.
Yeah, it was all single direction.
Yeah.
There wasn't a live audience that.
There was a live audience, and they did react.
Yeah.
But they weren't involved in the show as much. But yeah, it was all right. I mean, the vibe I got from the thing is, man, I would probably be enjoying this more if I actually was engaged in this show. Like if I liked the show, if I was a fan of Jesus Christ Superstar, this was definitely for you. There was no hook, there was no real gimmick about like, look at this cool thing we're doing. It was more like, no, we're just gonna give you Jesus Christ Superstar.
It was, if you like Jesus Christ Superstar,
here
it is.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
I mean, John Legend is okay. I mean,
John Legend.
I don't necessarily think his is a very is a voice that lends itself to musical theater. So I don't know if he was the best choice for that role.
He's a very more passionate singer, which is passionate of the Christ.
Yeah. However, Sarah Bareilles nailed it. Man, yeah, she did a really good job, I thought. Ooh, nailed it. That's a bad pun, isn't it?
It is.
Ooh, I know. Happy Easter, everybody. All right, let's move on after that one. So, did you watch any other television?
Like any new TV?
Yeah, new TV. 2018 television. Silicon Valley debuted, right? You watched that?
That premiered with Barry.
Week? Okay, so you talked about that.
I didn't talk about it, but yeah, Silicon Valley's back. It exists. They're bouncing off last season, trying to build a new internet.
Right.
Anything else that premiered? Nothing that premiered.
Oh, I forgot to mention in the movie segment, I watched Magic Mike last night. And I watched that. I hadn't seen it all the way through.
Okay.
That's a pretty good movie.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah. You should probably sit down and watch Magic Mike. Yeah. I was like, wait, this is not what I thought this was going to be.
Well, speaking of Magic Mike, Channing Tatum has been canceled.
Channing Tatum broke up, divorced.
Yes, he's divorcing.
His longtime wife.
Yes, that they
After
met.
6 years?
8 years. They met on Step Up?
Step Up.
I believe it was Step Up.
Or was it Step Up to the Streets?
No.
He's just in Step Up.
No, this is in the first one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where he met his wife, and they broke up.
Yes.
Ladies, look out. Channing Tatum is on the loose.
Channing Tatum on the loose.
Channing Tatum is on the loose.
Wow, okay. But yeah, Magic Mike's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'd recommend sitting down. It's on, we watched it on Amazon, I think.
Oh, I saw Coco.
Or Netflix? And we rewatched Coco because we got the Blu-ray and we saw some of the all of the bonus features. We have more bonus features to come.
I know, we're going to watch the whole commentary.
All right, well, we're talking about movies. We got to wrap up television. So that's it for television.
Yeah, I don't think I watched anything new.
That's okay. Let's move on.
Yeah. Just watch the same stuff I've been watching.
Cancellations and renewals. And we got some of both. A little column A, a little
column B. A little bit of both.
First up, Brockmire on IFC.
Speaking of Brockmire.
Gets a second season. Gets renewed for 2 more seasons.
Yes.
A season 4 and 5. I don't even think it's done with its second season.
It's in the middle of its third.
Yeah, okay. It is, I guess. Alright, so that keeps going.
Yep.
Beyond on Freeform has been canceled after 2 seasons.
Oh, who saw that coming? Oh, wait, everyone.
No one. Life Sentence on the CW has been canceled after just 5 episodes.
Do you know what Life Sentence was about?
No, I'm guessing a law show?
No.
No?
It's about a girl who was diagnosed with terminally ill cancer.
Oh, that kind of life sentence.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But wait, there's a catch.
Uh-huh.
Turns out her cancer went into remission, at the age of 18.
Okay.
So now, after high school, she basically has a second life. Or a new life.
Well, I mean, she did before the show about her got canceled.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, that's life sentence.
Then the aforementioned Roseanne, already a hit for ABC, has gotten 13 full episodes for an 11th season. That is 11th in total show order. Not like, so yes, even though this is the first season, the reboot, this is technically season 10.
Just like they're counting the Will and Grace.
Will and Grace as its 10th season. Yeah. And Mystery Science Theater as its 11th.
Correct.
Et cetera.
They're continuations. They're not really labeling it reboot.
Right. And lastly, in renewals here, the CW went through all of their stable to tell us who lives and who dies.
Basically, everyone lives.
Everybody lives. Arrow, Black Lightning, The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl, Riverdale, Jane the Virgin, Dynasty, Supernatural, and Crazy Ex-Girlfriend are all renewed. Wait, but here's an asterisk.
Wait, you mean all their hits got renewed?
But here's an asterisk.
Oh, for Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
Yes. The one that's not so much of a hit, but a cult hit, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, has been renewed, but it will be its final season. So the upcoming 4th season of the show will be its last. Yes,
creators have already said as much. Yeah. It is currently on tour.
Yes,
which is fun enough to say for a TV show. It's on tour. But yeah, we covered that a while ago in the music. And speaking of music,
what's happening?
Well, wrap it up. I don't think we have any deaths this
You have no deaths, so
no notable deaths.
So I guess we roll into music, which of course we start with the Billboard charts. So your Billboard starts with your Hot 100, which is your singles chart. Number 1 song in the nation is still God's Plan.
It must be God's plan to have God's plan.
It must be. Number 2 is Meant to Be by BB Rexha.
It was meant to be.
Number 3, Finesse by Bruno Mars and Cardi B. What?
With Florida Georgia Line?
I've been saying that for the last 3 weeks. Yes. That is a song that is a duet between BB Rexha and Florida Georgia Line.
Yeah, I think I heard that one this week.
Number 3, Finesse by Bruno Mars and Cardi B. Number 4, moved up the list, Psycho by Post Malone featuring Ty Dolla $ign. And Perfect by Ed Sheeran.
Oh, Perfect's back.
Perfect by Ed Sheeran. Your albums chart did see some new blood. Your number 1 album in the country right now is Boarding House Reach, the solo album by Jack White. Number 2 is Question Mark by XXXTentacion. Number 3, Black Panther, the album. Number 4, Great Showman, the album, moving back up to the top 5. And rounding out your top 5, Culture 2 by Migos.
Hey, Great Showman's back.
That is your Billboard upcoming this week.
Yeah.
Your new releases, Amanda Palmer with I Only Listen to the Mountain Goats, All Hail West Texas.
All Hail West Texas.
The Mountain Goats are another band.
Texas Forever.
Which is a fun one we'll mention. Blackberry Smoke with Find a Light. The aforementioned Cardi B with Invasion of Privacy.
Unsure if this one will actually be released. It may get delayed.
Yeah, I heard that too. Daniel Avery with A Song for Alpha. Dusted with Blackout Summer. Eels with Deconstruction. Hines with I Don't Run. My pick of the week, Hopalong with Bark Your Head Off Dog. Kate Nash with Yesterday Was Forever. Kylie Minogue with Golden. The Wonder Years with Sister Cities. Are you sure that's not reversed? Okay. Yeah. 30 Seconds to Mars.
Yes, The Wonder
30
Years.
Seconds to Mars with America, all caps.
Yes, I'll probably be listening to that.
Unknown Mortal Orchestra with Sex and Food. My 2 favorite things.
Yeah.
And Zola Jesus with Okovi: Editions.
FGL Stagecoach Preview.
There you go.
Where's my playlist? Expect maybe Casey Musgraves to
I think Casey has a chance for number 1 next week, but who knows?
I just happened to see what her Metacritic score was for that.
Yeah.
Well, what was it?
It was high.
It was high?
I don't remember what it was.
I know. I know you saw the Pitchfork appraise it.
I know. Unbelievably. Yeah, people are loving that thing.
Yeah. We'll talk about that in a little bit here.
We talked about it last week, too.
Oh, yeah,
we'll talk about it again.
Yeah.
All right, moving into music news. Our first story is about former Linkin, or still current, Linkin Park member Mike Shinoda.
Yes.
So, in dealing with
the now lead singer, I guess.
I guess.
The defunct.
Yes, in dealing with the aftermath of his co-bandmate Chester Bennington's death, he's ready to show what he's been working on with the release of Post-Traumatic, his project due later this year. He released 2 new tracks, Crossing a Line and Nothing Makes Sense Anymore, that will be on the album, with the 3 tracks released earlier this year. Ultimately, he says, Post-Traumatic is an album about healing. If people have been through something similar, I hope they feel less alone. That's cool that he's kind of moving through his feelings with his music.
Yeah, we did cover this we mentioned the EP a couple months back when he released those 3 songs. They were very different from typical Linkin Park songs.
Yeah.
Or even his Fort Minor stuff. They're very personal songs, it felt like. Stuff to get you through depression.
Doing something different.
Do something different. So, apparently he still has more stuff to talk about than those 3. Okay. And is releasing a full album. Not only that, but you can go to Linkin Park's website right now, and they still have a donation page to Chester Fund for Chester Bennington. You can also buy different pieces of merchandise that will go directly to that fund as well.
That's good.
It's good. I mean, hopefully this album's gonna not only be good. I mean, it should be good, but it also should help some people through tough times.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good thing.
Right, and that's ultimately the goal Mike Shinoda is going for.
Yeah.
Is to express words that usually cannot be expressed.
All right.
Yep. Moving on.
Moving on to a place where you might listen to this new Mike Shinoda music on Spotify. Well, the company, as we previously reported, was planning to go public, and that has happened.
Oh, and they made money.
To the tune of $25 billion worth.
That's right. That's billion with a B.
Making it the largest music company, by default, in the world. By comparison, other companies within the music industry include Vivendi, which is worth $27 billion, Live Nation, which is worth about $8 billion, and Tencent Music in China, the music division of the large holding company Tencent, which we've talked about a lot in the video game segment, worth $12.5 billion. They also have around 71 million paid subscribers, Spotify,
right
now, compared to Apple Music that only has 40 million.
Yeah, notice that is paid subscribers, not total.
Not just total
users.
Because that doesn't include all those freeloaders out there. This is paid subscribers to Spotify.
So, do I count as those freeloaders then?
I mean, until you start giving me $5 a month, yes, you're a freeloader. That can be arranged. Moving on. Our next story is about Live Nation.
Yeah, speaking of Live Nation, they're in a bit of hot water.
8 years after merging with Ticketmaster, ticket prices are at a record high and service fees have become a major nuisance. Major nuisance. Now the Department of Justice is looking into serious accusations about Live Nation behavior. They are now reviewing complaints aimed at the company that they used its control over concert tours to pressure venues into contracting with Ticketmaster as they manage over 500 artists. One complaint comes from AEG, that manages several large venues, that they would lose valuable shows if Ticketmaster was not used as the vendor, which would of course violate antitrust laws. One example is in Atlanta, where Live Nation passed by the Gwinnett Center after they replaced Ticketmaster with a service controlled by AEG. Not only did they bypass on a large tour, but the following year dropped the number of shows managed by Live Nation from 5 to just 2.
Yeah, they say it was practical business dealings that they couldn't afford to make an extra stop. But the Gwinnett Center in Atlanta is one of the biggest centers.
Yeah.
Next to the second only to the one that Live Nation owns and runs.
Yeah. So the Justice Department is also looking into reports of threats at venues around the country that have seen a loss of Live Nation's business. So it sounds like there may be some shady doings conspiring
Not necessarily
over there.
Shady in terms of backdoor dealings, but shady as in strategically manipulating the artists and where they
taking advantage of the power that they have.
Yeah.
Basically being the only game in town.
Basically.
Or forcing themselves in to be the only game in town.
That's the other way.
Ticketmaster.
Right.
Not great.
And forcing people to use their service because, as we've reported before and constantly on here, people hate Ticketmaster fees. Like,
they're
just
terrible.
in general. Like, why? I'm buying this online. Why do I have to pay you an extra $20?
Yeah.
And this is why. Because they're literally the only game to get these tickets.
Yep. All right. let's move on to a story about concerts themselves.
Yeah, speaking of concerts and concert goings.
So a new study conducted by behavioral science expert Patrick Fagan of Goldsmith University suggests that attending concerts once every 2 weeks, which is a lot, could increase life expectancy by 9 years. Weird.
How do you get that number?
So the study shows only 20 minutes of a show is enough to boost feelings of well-being by 21%, feelings of self-worth by 25%, closeness to others by 25%, and mental stimulation went up 75%. Over 2/3 of people surveyed said they felt happier experiencing live music than just simply listening at home.
Yeah. So this is less about like actually bettering yourself and more physically, mentally, and socially bettering yourself.
I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff on the kind of periphery of this because it's very easy to say like, I got out of the house, so I'm happier than I would be if I was in the house. You know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of variables here that I don't know is necessarily super scientific. I think
you're talking about like people's well-being as like scientific data.
Needless to say, people going out and doing stuff, they're going to be generally happier than somebody who is shacked up at home, not doing stuff. And whether that's a concert or going to see a movie, I'd say you could fudge those numbers a little because you're generally going to feel better.
Yeah, it's more about socialization and being out and about than it is about anything one specific.
That being said, I mean, concerts are pretty awesome. I definitely recommend to go to more concerts, especially if you live in an area where they happen all the time. If you don't, and if you live in an area, I don't know, like we do, that has like a couple of major venues, and not a whole lot of bands going there, then it might be a little harder to do. But if you happen to live in a city, if you like to live in New York or Los Angeles or Philadelphia, and there's like an active music scene, go see music because there's music around every corner. There's bands playing probably at your local bar that are probably pretty awesome that you can totally check out right now. So go check them out. Concerts are cool. Go to more concerts.
Yeah, one good scene to go to is San Francisco.
Yeah, it's another great scene.
Yeah, they have a big concert on the outdoors too, called Outside Lands.
I sense a transition because you have a story that you didn't get.
Yes, on purpose.
So the Outside Lands lineup was announced.
Yes.
We're going to do the lineup game?
No, we're not going to do the lineup game.
So who's our headliners?
Headliners are The Weeknd, playing The Weeknd.
Sure.
Florence and the Machine. And Janet Jackson?
Sure.
Yes, that's actually Janet Jackson, not question mark.
That you say these are the headliners because this also happens to be the same exact headliners as FYF Fest, which also got its lineup announced this past week.
Right. But unlike FYF Fest, Outside Lands also includes Future, Beck, Odessa, Bonnie Bear, Churches, Portugal, The Man, Huey Lewis,
and the News.
Father John Misty, Chromeo, Carly Rae Jepsen, and we're just gonna end right there because
that's all I need to hear.
That's all you need to hear.
I mean, I already saw Carly, so I'm good.
But hey, this probably means new album.
I don't know.
New music.
She recently was brought on stage by Charlie XCX at a recent concert, so she's been around.
Oh, okay.
She's making some rounds right now, but no announcements have been made about any new material.
Yeah, just going quickly through the list. Oh, the Mountain Goats. We briefly
Speaking
mentioned.
of the Mountain Goats.
Yeah, they're going to be there. And, yeah, I'm good.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's Outside Lands. So that's in Chicago, you said?
No. San Francisco.
So it's in San Francisco.
Yeah, at Golden Gate Park. Tickets go on sale tomorrow, 10 a.m. So probably when you're listening to this.
There you go.
For single days or 3 days. But, be prepared to shell out some money for them.
Yeah, so if you like expensive music festivals and you live in San Francisco, there's your festival. Moving on, let's wrap up music by talking about you listened to the Casey Musgraves album.
Yes, Golden Hour.
What did you think about Golden Hour?
I'm just going to quote you what I said to you already. That this album feels like a Sunday drive.
Yeah.
With your best girl. Or whoever, your significant other. Just going down the coast, whichever coast that may be, or just taking a long drive, just listening to this album, just ending with a perfect sunset. It's just a beautiful album, simply put.
For sure.
there's a lot on this album, a lot of hits I can see. There's a lot of potential for crossover, not only in the country but also into the mainstream with this album. One of these songs on here, if it gets a EDM remix, I can see being really big. It's was it the Love one, or Love Is a Wild Thing.
yeah, that could be.
That's missing an 808 kick, and maybe a bass drop here and there. But that's like if it gets that thing could be big.
There's a lot of great stuff on there.
Yes,
it works multiple ways.
Yes, one of my favorite titles is Velvet Elvis.
Yeah,
just that song is very cool too.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, Wonder Woman is a great song on there. Of course, Butterfly, Space Cowboy.
Yeah,
and
basically go and listen to this thing.
Yeah, is
what we're saying. You are going to see Casey later.
I will be seeing Casey.
So check that out.
Yes, I'll be seeing Casey at Stagecoach, which is at the end of the month.
So you'll be reporting back after that, I'm sure.
Yes, not only how she looks, but also how she sounds.
Ha ha ha. Anyways, but yeah, so check that out. Any other music you listened to this week? Because I have a couple.
No, I've just been mainly listening to that constantly on my car now. So, like I mentioned, come Friday, I'm probably going to listen to that new 30 Seconds to Mars album, America.
America!
America! It's
yeah,
all caps.
All caps.
So you got to yell it.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I probably will give the Mike Shinoda things a listen.
Okay.
I know I was going to, but then I got stuck in Casey world.
Fair enough.
And she's just keeps running through my head now.
Yeah, I mean, I've pretty much listened to that album every day since it's come out now.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, what I also listened to real briefly,
yeah,
I'm going to go into depth here.
Lonely Weekend is just constantly in my head for some reason.
It's a good song.
Yeah.
But yeah, other albums I listened to real quick. I listened to the new Frankie Cosmo's Vessel. That's, of course, Greta Klein, daughter of Kevin Klein.
Oh.
That's her band. They've been around for a few years here, but yeah, that's her new one. It's pretty strong. Some real great songs on there. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Okay.
This
Hop Along?
Oh, it's have not. It's streaming right now on NPR. I have not gotten a chance. I might do that tonight.
What's with NPR?
They do the first listens. They have early deals. They make deals with artists to do early.
Okay.
But that's on Friday. I'll talk about that next week. If you want to read my thoughts about Golden Hour, they're on the site now. So if you want to go to MediaBoatPodcast.com and take a look, you can see my thoughts about Casey Musgraves' album there.
Or, listen to it and make your own mind. Cause it's,
or both.
Or, do both. And just
Volcanoes Dose!
The only thing is that you have to agree with us that it is good.
Well, you don't have to.
You have to.
All right, let's move on to we already talked about
video games.
About video games.
Yes. New releases.
New releases for video games.
Real light this week.
Yeah, I don't know what these are. Invertium for PlayStation 4 and Switch. Metropolis: Lux Obscura for PlayStation 4 and Switch. Urban Trial Playground for Switch. Those are your games.
Yeah, there's more games, but they're like Switch games or PlayStation.
For the new release Friday post last week, there were so many Switch games coming out, I didn't even bother putting one. I was like, there's no notable games this week. Just catch up on Switch games. I don't know.
So, and also PlayStation Network games being released. If you do have a PlayStation Plus account, Mad Max is free.
Yeah, the video game month, Mad Max.
As well as Qbert Remastered. That's also free. If you want that.
Get all the way up to the top and then fall off the side and then see Qbert swear at you. Play some Qbert.
Yep.
Let's move on to our first story in video game news, which of course was about April Fool's Day. Not only was Sunday Easter, it was also April Fool's.
Yes. And because being people in the video game industry are geeks and nerds and love April Fool's stuff.
Yeah. So the video game industry is probably the most, at least I'm aware of, the most active when it comes to April Fool's dumb jokes.
Yes.
Some of the jokes included this year, Horizon Zero Dawn debuted a body pillow. That's just gross.
Yeah.
Gigantic toppers in Rocket League, so gigantic things on your car.
Yes.
There was a Need for Speed traffic jam game teased.
Yeah.
Payday was going to have an animated series. Halo was going to have its own Battle Royale mode. There were going to be hats for your tanks and War Thunder. And finally, an Eevee, like the Pokemon, was going to be in Tekken 7 as DLC.
The Pokemon Eevee was going to be a playable character for Tekken 7.
That's funny.
DLC.
That's dumb but funny.
Yeah.
I mean, they also make the Pokken tournament game, so that checks out.
Right. Like we said, a lot of these are harmless, dumb fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're silly.
You know, the fact that they're like one of the most active industries for April Fools is very nice that it keeps getting the recognition every year.
Yeah. All right, move on to another story here. This one of the political nature. We go to Kansas, where the Kansas Senate has passed the Andrew T. Funch anti-swatting bill.
Now, who is Andrew T. Funch?
I have no idea, but I can tell you what swatting is.
What is swatting, then?
Swatting is when you are a total asshole. Well, I mean, not just to flies. But if you're a total asshole and you decide that it's a funny prank to call the SWAT team on a person. Basically...
this is mainly done while they're streaming.
Or while they're on the internet. Or there's all sorts of situations in which you can be swatted.
Right.
But yeah, basically, it's being a total asshole and like sending to someone's house a literal SWAT team for no actual criminal misdeeds.
Right.
So yeah, the Kansas Senate passed the Andrew T. Funch anti-swatting bill, which will now go to the governor for final approval and signature. The bill came after Wichita police shot and killed 28-year-old Andrew Finch last December after a swatting call. Under the bill, anyone who makes a false alarm or swatting call that results in death or extreme injury would face a level 1 felony, which, depending on criminal history, carries a prison sentence between 10 to 41 years.
Yeah.
41 years.
The only caveat in this bill is that someone has to either die or be injured.
Really injured. Which is, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if that's harsh enough.
Right. I mean, if you call and they arrive and nothing happens, then nothing happens to you.
It still sucks. It's still a bad thing that people shouldn't do. Maybe this will dissuade more people from doing it, I hope.
Yeah.
But hey, we'll see. But it's a dumb thing. Don't do it.
It's super dumb. People, please stop swatting.
Please.
It's not, no need.
Next up, someone who has probably never been swatted. Spyro the Dragon.
I'm sure he swatted at Sparks before.
Yeah, maybe. Sparks. We may be closer to a Spyro remaster than ever before, as Activision is now in control of the character's website, I guess.
Yes.
You have the game's website, but I think more generally, the IP of Spyro the Dragon.
Yes, the Spyro the Dragon website is now under Activision domain.
Not only that, but a mysterious purple egg arrived at video game website IGN that led them to the Twitter handle @Spyro the Dragon. That only had one tweet on it, but it referenced the remastered Crash Bandicoot game.
Yep, worked on by Vicarious Games, which is a division
Vicarious Visions.
Vicarious, which is a division of
Activision.
Activision.
So PAX East is this weekend, but expect an official announcement to be made at E3, if not sooner. So yeah, there's a chance we might see some announcement about Spyro at PAX. I mean, PAX makes sense.
Yeah, PAX is the next closest one.
It's a franchise, and that's a fan event. So.
Right, but this is PAX. This is PAX East. I still want to call it PAX Prime, but that PAX Prime is West.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
But they changed it to PAX West, PAX East.
Yeah.
Because now there's PAX South.
I mean,
in Texas.
That might be cool. I mean, I played only a little bit of the Spyro games, but I feel like Spyro was always more my jam than Crash.
Yeah, I've played Spyro. I played all the 3 PS1 versions of Spyro. I didn't touch the Legend of Spyro's series.
Yeah, towards the end.
Or the Skylander series. But from what I did play from the PS1 version, I liked. I played them a lot. I specifically bought Spyro the Dragon when it came out for PS3 digitally and played through that and beat it. It was very nice. I also played through 3 constantly, the Year of the Dragon.
Yeah.
Collecting all the eggs.
Yeah, I heard they're good.
Yeah, they're good. I mean, the Crash remake was great.
So yeah, if they do the same kind of attention to detail that they did with those games for these games, that'd be pretty great.
Yeah, people are still hyped on Spyro, even though I guess majority of young gamers know it from the Skyland series.
I mean, now, yeah, but they're not catering this to them.
No.
I mean, they partially are, but they saw how well Crash did for that kind of era of video gamers.
Mm-hmm.
Spyro could easily do just as well.
Yeah, I don't think you need to add any of the Skylander character into the universe.
No.
You don't need to.
It'll be a remaster of those first 3 games, and that's it.
Yeah, that's what they should
do. I
do.
will put my money on that.
That's what they should do.
Yeah. All right. So let's move out of Spyro and into the bits.
The bits.
We're going to wrap up by
it.
talking about some rapid fire things here.
Yep.
First up, the incredibly anticipated Spider-Man game for the PS4, the exclusive Insomniac developed. Speaking of Spyro, the original developers of Spyro, Insomniac Games, their new project, Spider-Man, will be released on September 7th. So we have a late summer release date for Spider-Man. So check that out.
That also got a new gameplay and trailer released, so check that out if you're interested.
Next up, the Overwatch League has introduced an all-access pass on Twitch. So this will be a way to see all the competition.
Yes, this is separate.
As it happens.
I think this is this is in addition.
Oh, okay.
Or like you'll still get like the Twitch Prime as a part of it if you purchase that package, but it's just like an extra step,
an extra thing.
Yeah, so that way you can like watch it
all the Overwatch that you could ever desire.
Yeah, more than that's already on there.
Next up, don't look forward too quickly for God of War reviews as they are embargoed until April 12th. So April 12th will be the first you'll hear about reviews about God of War. So check that out.
But the game does come out on April 20th.
So just about a week prior, you're going to hear about the game. Which is good news, actually, because if you're Bethesda
you'll embargo
until the day comes out. So at least they're giving a week of buffer time. That's still pretty nice.
Right.
Next up, Far Cry 5, last week's big video game release, sold $310 million through the first week, making it Ubisoft's second biggest launch behind their launch of The Division in 2015. So that's pretty good.
Yeah. I guess moving it to America and making it relevant.
Turns out
is a winning formula.
Far Cry game.
Yeah.
And then lastly, to wrap up video games, you have some thoughts about a Marvel game?
Yes. So, I was watching a little bit of basketball.
As you do.
As you do this past weekend. And I noticed an advertisement for a game. A Marvel game. A Marvel mobile game.
You don't say.
Called Marvel Strike Force.
Okay, so what's Marvel Strike Force?
It's this. No, sorry, you can't see that.
No, what is the game?
It's a team building game. Where you...
so it's like you go to an office retreat and you do trust falls?
Yeah, except you don't want to anger the Hulk as he does it, because otherwise you're going to die.
Yeah, it's a bad call.
Yeah. But...
sorry, it's a team building. That's
so part of... so in the comic books, the Strike, S-T-R-I-K-E, is a special division within S.H.I.E.L.D. That deals with interdimensional forces.
Okay.
So, what this game does, and I know I read a little synopsis of this before, like I saw the commercial for it, but they took what was essentially a C-list enemy, baddie, villain, called Ultimo, and turned him into the central villain.
Okay.
Because he has the power to see through all dimensions. What he's done is take the heroes of different dimensions and turn them evil to attack the dimension that we're in. So it's up to us to gather our team of superheroes to fight this new evil. You do it by gathering teammates through different cards. I mean, they're not technically cards, but they're card-based. It's like a card-based system.
It's basically a card battling game. It's what it sounds like.
No. You use the cards to get the character, but then it's turn-based battling system.
Alright.
You level them up. Leveling is real easy. What I found is that even though you are able to pay to win, you don't need to. I mean, I'm already like level 20 in a couple of days, and I haven't had to pay anything for this. It just naturally levels up, and at no point do I feel like the game has gotten either too hard or too difficult, or just like, here's a wall, now you have to pay in order to level your people up. No, it moves very nicely, and I feel like this is like the type of game that mobile games should be. Which is weird to say, because mobile games could literally be anything. But in terms of like an RPG style game, this is exactly what could keep people coming back. Because it's familiar characters, easy level up system, and even though there is technically what's considered to be a loot crate system, it's not needed to level up your characters. But, I mean, it kind of is. But you also get it by doing different events and activities within the game itself. And it uses a lot of the Marvel characters from the cinematic universe as compared to, like, just comic books where they use anything.
Right.
So at least you're very familiar with the characters that they're showing you. And it's very well put. It's a well-crafted game. It opens up different sections as you level up. So you're not, like, overwhelmed with everything in the beginning. Where it's like, here, you do this, this, and this, this. And then you're like, whoa, wait. Let me just do one thing at a time. Let me master that first. So it's really well put, really well done. And definitely check it out if you're a fan of Marvel or like turn-based games. I'm having fun with it. Until I hit a wall, or at least until I hit the end game, because it does say like content coming soon. So they do plan for more stuff coming to this. Until I hit that, I can see myself playing this and leveling up my characters for a while. It's one of those. It's where like, even though like you have to wait for like your energy to replenish before you can do more missions, like it's still like real leveling up. It still gives you like extra level or like extra energy, so you don't ever like feel like you're gonna run out unless you like go back and try and like purposely level up your characters.
Okay. So it's not like, it doesn't like have the pay to win hooks into it where you feel obligated.
They are there, but you're never obligated to say like to go by. And that stupid pop up window that says, "Hey, we're having this sale now," doesn't pop up.
Yeah, that's
like good. you could say like turn this thing off forever.
That's good.
Yeah, so
it's a friendly.
It's a friendly
version
mobile,
of that kind of
thing. It's a friendly mobile game, and that's what mobile games should be.
Yeah.
Not like trying to suck your money out of you at every single point.
No, they just do that sneakily instead of doing it out front.
I think this is actually developed by Marvel, which is why.
Okay.
But yeah, it's definitely a fun game. Definitely check it out. It's on the front page for it. It's developed by Fox Next Games. Okay. 2 X's.
Alright, so check that out if you need a phone game and you like those Marvel characters.
Yeah, it's free. Yeah. So that's also good. It's a free role-playing game. Yeah, free role-playing game for Android and iOS. Cool. So check it out.
Alright, well, that wraps it up then for video games. I mean, we've also been playing more baseball, but we kind of already talked about that.
Yeah, we briefly talked about that. We are streaming MLB. It's still the show.
MLB The Show 18.
Yes.
So
I'm currently playing through the Angels season on that.
Yep.
We're going to probably skim through a bunch of it. Probably next stream we're going to cut to the All-Star break. Yeah. And then one after that we're going to cut to the end of the season, try and win into the playoffs. And then if we do get there into the playoffs, then we'll play that. Otherwise, that'll probably be the end of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely a fun game.
It's they made some interesting changes. It's like I mentioned last week. It looks a little crisper. The presentation I like a lot better. Like the UI and the menus is vastly improved. Yeah. It looks cool. It looks great.
Yeah. The one thing is that it's not as easy to hit home runs as the previous one was.
They upped the difficulty on hitting. They made it a little bit more realistic. You have to take some balls. But other than that, yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's more challenging, but that at least makes it more fair, more like baseball.
It's more like real baseball. You're not gonna bat 600 as easy as we did. It's gonna be closer to 3.
Hitting 70 home runs like we did.
It brings more of an excitement when you do get a home run because it's less often now. It's like, oh shoot, I actually did it. Kind of thing. Just like real life.
It feels good. Yeah, it's definitely more of a rewarding experience.
So yeah, we'll be going live on twitch.tv/MediaBoat.
Well, hey, why don't you just plug us while you're going through that?
Why don't I? So you can find out when we go live on our social media channels, including Twitter. If you go on to Twitter, we are MediaBoatcast, at MediaBoatcast, I should say. On Facebook, we're on Facebook as our Media Boat Podcast page. You can find that out by searching the Media Boat Podcast on there. You can find us on twitch.tv/MediaBoat for playing video games. You can go to our website, MediaBoatPodcast.com, where we post all our thoughts about new releases, as well as our features that go up almost daily, such as box office numbers and new releases every Friday, and as well as the occasional news story, whenever it's fit to print. Next up is our Patreon. If you want to help us out with money and make this content even better than it already is, or if you want exclusive content that's just for you, you can donate via Patreon. Patreon.com/MediaBoat. Go there and donate as little as $1 a month and become a member of our exclusive club. You can also find us live on YouTube every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Pacific time, right here like we are right now with our live podcast every week. You can also find our archive of those shows on YouTube. Just look at our channel. You can click on the little bell too and get notified when we go live. Lastly, you can find the audio version of our podcast on Apple Podcasts, as well as other RSS feed-driven podcast machines. So check that out as well and give us a review. That will do it. That will wrap us up for the Media Boat Podcast. Tune in next week on YouTube to see us live on next Wednesday, or catch us on your podcast feed. Either way, we'll be back next week with a new episode. So see you guys then.
All right. Thank you all for listening. We'll see you guys next week with a lot more news episodes.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. YouTube after show. Doctor's been Doctor's been chatting with us. And you can chat with us too. Yep. We respond. So real briefly, Angels, like we said, Angels won 3-2. Dodgers lost 3-0 today. Guy like Back to the Future, so it's Mike. Bracket we went through. For the record, Ducks Wild is tied. We're gonna turn that on. See, Lowell, if you want to see us play Otani. Ironically, speaking of sports, Tiger is at 12-1 odds of winning the Masters right now. Yeah, no, he's not the favorite. So there's a chance he'll either win or he'll miss the cut. Breaking news: the Chicago Blackhawks beat the St. Louis Blues, which knocked them out of the playoff contention, which means the LA Kings are officially playoff bound.
Hey!
Whether that means in a wild card slot or in the Pacific Division,
we'll find out.
We'll find out by Saturday, but the Kings are officially in the playoffs.
There you go.
Matt to Mike, you're being cute. Me, he's always cute. Aww. And then Stagecoach Preview, FGL, Florida Georgia Line. Ducks are about to win 3-1, turns out. So we're not turning that game on. I feel like you missed the fact that the Kings officially clinched the playoff spot. I did see that. All is well. Go Kings, go. I did see you play that, but we were already past sports at that time.
All right.
So I decided not to just keep that to myself. I think we were like in the middle of the Sinclair broadcasting.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll be back with
the LA Kings officially in the playoffs.
So we'll be back next week with more stuff about sports.
That means I will continue to watch.
I had to go to the bathroom.
All right, go to the bathroom. We'll see you all next week. Thank you for joining us. Bye-bye.
God.